Higher, higher, higher. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it. We gon' with some we going higher on the case for we going higher on the case for we're gonna get it elevated to the Hey, what's good, everybody? This your boy Caseyville King, Self for Life Wrestling Takes. Hey, I apologize. I know it's been a lot of things that's been happening in the wrestling. I just haven't had the time. I was supposed to come on here this weekend and talk about Rampage and talk about Vince McMahon getting more allegations, and WWE is going TV 14 now, and they want to quote unquote get the adult audience back. That's what they believe. That's what they feel. But as long as Vince and Bruce is still in the writing chair, nothing's going to change. They can go TV 14 all they want. It's just basically a waste of time. Let's talk about this show. Dynamite. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what nobody has to say. This was the blackest episode AEW's ever done. We was heavy on this show. When I say heavy, we were heavy on this show. Heavy. Ladies and gentlemen, remember when I said, when you put us on the show, it's all about the presentation. Don't have us come out there cooning. Don't have us come out there bug dancing. Don't have us come out there shucking and jiving. Don't have us come out there doing anything stereotypical that makes it. Don't do that. Just let us flow. Let us go out there. Let us do us. Present us right. Because cats get caught up in the representation. It's not about representation, ladies and gentlemen. It's about presentation. The fact that we were nowhere near the main event. However, we were throughout the entire show. You had cats like Kevin Gates, Jermaine Dupri pulling up. I mean, listen, we were on this show. Listen, Tony Khan, listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I keep telling y'all. Now, the ratings are going to speak for themselves tomorrow. We'll find out how the ratings are. But I keep telling y'all, I told y'all, the biggest audience that has been neglected the most throughout all this time the wrestling has been on TV has been our audience. Now, people going to say, well, no, it's about presentation. Presentation is the key, ladies and gentlemen. Hear me out. Presentation is always going to be the key. It ain't just about representation, because cats get carried away about representation. It's about the presentation. When we get to those particular parts, when we get those titles, how the heck are we going to be booked? Are we going to be booked as if we matter? Or are we being booked because, hey, look, let me slap a title on them because they quote unquote black and I got to do a status quo thing so I don't look like a white supremacist? That's what I'm talking about. Presentation matters. And tonight, everything felt natural. People got a couple of laughs in. I told y'all, we be the kings and queens when it comes to that entertainment stuff. Man, this was a very good episode of Dynamite. All the way until we got to the very end, and I'm going to go in on the main event, ladies and gentlemen. Was the main event good? It was okay. But that finish, we got some things to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, Death Before Dishonor. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a separate video because there's still matches to be added. I'm gonna do a predictions video for Death Before Dishonor Friday. So I have no choice because the pay-per-view is Saturday. So I have to make sure I come back. Even though it's late as heck, I'll be here. You got my word, ladies and gentlemen. I will be here to talk about Death Before Dishonor, the entire card. More matches have been added to the pre-show. I'll talk about everything and I'll give my honest predictions on what's going to transpire on that show. Let's break down the show, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we open up the show. My main man, Brody King. Ladies and gentlemen, Brody King has turned me into a fan of his. No, I was not on the bandwagon. I told y'all, ladies and gentlemen, when it's concerning wrestlers, I don't automatically get on the bandwagon right away. You're going to have to get me on. Why should I care about what you bring to the table? You got to get me to care. Darby Allin did that 3 years ago. Now, Darby Allin is so over. He's so established. It's now Darby Allin's turn to put over new cats like Brody King. And man, based off of how everything was being presented, how he was just getting beat up everywhere, getting choked out. Found him at his doggone meet and greet, autograph signing. The story said Darby Allin should go over. But me, I said no. I want Brody King to go over. This was a murder scene from the jump. Brody King came in there. Darby tried to get a couple of licks in. Brody King said, I'm not finna play with you, man. I know what you bring to the table. You're nothing more than a crash test dummy. You want to be on Jack A so bad. You want to be a part of Nightmare Before Christmas so bad. Listen, I got to take you out. I had to take you out. I had to show why my dominance will dominate you. I don't care that you like to get beat up. Because, listen, Darby Allin love to get beat up. Darby Allin reminds me of SpongeBob. Now, why do I say that? How do I bring that comparison? Where did I get that from? Do y'all remember the episode when SpongeBob got caught up with that boy Flats? And Flats said, I'm going to beat you up after they get out of class. And it didn't matter what. I'm going to beat you up. And he thought that Flats was going to let him off. He said, nope, I'm going to beat you up. So SpongeBob run around scared. He run around like, oh, snap. You know, what I got to do. So we finally get to it. SpongeBob says, okay, do what you got to do. He put the blindfold on. And when he hit him, what did he say? Okay, I'm ready. And he hit him. He was like, Tuggle. And hit him again. And then he's like, ooh, that tickles. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Darby Allin. Darby Allin can get beat up so bad and not give a crap. That's his attitude. Darby Allin's attitude is he don't give a care about his body at all. He truly is a crash test dummy. He don't care. Beat him up all day long. And he got a couple of licks in. He tried to do a little something because the audience, everybody was going crazy. He got the pop. He got the pop that he wanted. But Brody King was like, and he did that move set or that choke where he was hanging outside the ring and he was choking him, holding him from his neck up. I said, I love that. Every time I see Brody King do that to Darby Allin, I enjoy to see that. I said, that's what I'm talking about. Choke that fool out. Choke him out. Choke his behind out. And that's what he did. And when he did that, the referee almost got to 10, but he hopped back in the ring and he did that move set on him. Brody King was like, oh snap, this fool got up from that. And he thought he was gonna get the 1, 2, 3. Brody King said heck to the freaking no. Brody King did his move on him. That match was done. 1, 2, 3. The right man went over. I say that's what I'm talking about. So then, after that, that's when Sting came out. And Sting came out. They got it. And then that's when Malachi Black came out. And Sting and Malachi Black looked at each other. They stared each other down just like how they did on Rampage. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how y'all feel about this. I know Sting and Darby always do tag team matches. I feel like it's going to be a tag team match. I'm at the point where you give me Malachi Black versus Sting in a singles match at All Out. I'm telling you, based on how they continue to keep confronting each other and how the crowd is popping. Every time they look at each other, they stare each other down. They size each other up. It's like, man. So, Brody King and Malachi Black beat the brakes off of Sting. They beat the brakes off of Darby Allin. Then Miro comes out the woodwork with some shades on. And he's walking down to the ring and he's just staring back at Malachi. Malachi kind of smirks. He's just looking at him. And everybody thought, is he coming down there to save Sting and Darby Allin? No, he just looks at him. So now I'm asking myself, what the heck is the Redeemer doing? Is the Redeemer going to join the House of Black, or is he? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, I have absolutely no idea what's going on. And that's the whole point of keeping cats guessing on what's next. What's next for Miro? What's next for Brody King? What's next for Malachi Black? What's next for Sting and Darby? I don't know. I have no clue. Stay tuned. That's what I call excellent storytelling. Some people want to say I don't like it. It's keeping you guessing. When they keep you guessing, you don't know, but it's keeping your interest. Your interest is piqued. That's what I like. When something is piquing my interest, now I'm paying attention to what's going on. When it's not piquing my interest, I could care less. Kudos to Tony Khan on this situation. All right. So, talked about that. Yeah, talked about all that. So, excuse me. Backstage, we got a backstage segment. Tony Schiavone is interviewing the newest sensation who just came through in AEW. His name is Cole Carter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have not been watching any of NXT 2.0. This dude used to be known as Two Dimes. I didn't watch him on NXT, so I didn't know how he came across. I don't know. Ricky Starks had put out an open challenge for the FTW Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I feel the FTW title should be considered a title in AEW, because every now and then Ricky Starks defends it. So you should consider this if you want to quote unquote say mid-card title, you can say this is like a cruiserweight type of championship for everybody who really doesn't have the opportunity to be on the show. And they can feud with Ricky Starks every now and then. So he came in there and he said, last I checked, you was swimming with the fishes, because apparently he got dumped by Tony, what's his name? Tony D or something. I don't know. I don't know what the guy's name. I don't know, but he got dropped by that cat, And he said he was swimming with the fishes. So they paid, they tied in the storyline of how he got kicked off of NXT. So, Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, always looking straight out. Let me tell y'all something. Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs cut a promo about coming up small last week. You can feel the emotion. You can feel it. When you feel what somebody is saying, you know you got some greatness on your hands. And I'm excited about what's to come. I don't know I don't know. I have no idea what Tony Khan is going to do. But I'm going to be watching very carefully, because Ricky Starks got it. Powerhouse Hobbs has it. What is next for these two? I don't know. So these two will be facing each other later on. So we get the best friends, Chucky T and Trent Beretta, with OC on commentary, versus the Blackpool Combat Club, Willow Yuta and Moxley, with William Regal on commentary. So this whole time, OC's on commentary looking goofy as heck, and William Regal is basically giving them boys props, saying Chucky T and Trent Beretta is outstanding opponents for my guys, but your guys aren't going to win. And they did everything in their power to make you think that Chucky T and Trent Beretta was going to walk out with this match. This is a very good tag team match. The storytelling that was being told was all about getting Willow Yuta prepared for what he has to do this coming Saturday. And lo and behold, Tony Khan woke up, because I said, all right, how in the world did you get DG involved? Cut to the back. DG was backstage watching. That's what I'm talking about. You don't always have to be out there on commentary. Have them paying attention to, like, okay, let me watch this cat. And sure enough, he was watching and he pointed at the screen like, yeah, look at this fool. This fool ain't nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm kind of torn about this match, because I'm going to talk about it, when I get my predictions. I kind of want DG to win. Because Willow Yuta really don't need the pure championship. He don't need the Ring of Honor pure championship, because he's more over than that title. DG is starting to become a man of his own power right now. Hanging out with Chris Jericho has done wonders for him. And I'm kind of like, man, does DG walk out with that title? I don't know. That's the question. I don't know. I'm picking Willow to win, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of wanting DG to walk out with that championship. I really am. I'm starting to really like Daniel Garcia. He's starting to become one of the cats I root for. We'll see. We'll see how it works. But this was a good match. Moxley and them end up winning. Both of them doing submission moves on each other. And soon as the match was over, OC basically got up and walked out. And it's almost making me wonder what is going to become of the best friends in OC. Is OC turning heel? Is the best friends turning heel? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea. This is why you must stay tuned. And I liked. Great segment, great match. Everybody did what they supposed to do. And the best part, nobody bled. Thank you, Moxley. Thank you. We don't need nobody to bleed. Everybody don't need to bleed every time you go out there. Especially with the main event that we had. You don't need to bleed all the time. You don't. So, they win. Talked about it. Very good match. So, we got a promo package showcasing Claudio Castagnolo, what he has done in the past when he used to be a part of Ring of Honor. And boy, the footage showed that he was a serious savage. I knew he was a good wrestler by watching him in WWE because I didn't watch Ring of Honor back then, so I never seen that footage. Jonathan Gresham basically still bragging, talk about, I'm the best. Nobody gonna beat me. You know, he can be the technical and all this, but he's not gonna take this championship off me. Man, they already spoiled it because he pulled up at the AEW Dark tape and then he had nothing. So that's that. So I'm just looking at how they're gonna wrestle. That's all that matters to me for this. You know, Johnny Gresham not walking out with a championship, he losing. I just want to see how do they match up. That's the name of the game, is how do they match up, because it's about technical wrestling versus technical wrestling. It's all about how they match up. So good segment, good promo, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, celebration time. Swerve and Not Glory. They come out. They got a cake, champagne sitting there ringside. You got my man Westside Gunn sitting out. They still ain't acknowledge him. You got Kevin Gates, of all people, sitting ringside. Swerve, Keith Lee out there having a good grand old time celebrating the fact that they got the titles right now. Now, let me talk about what Swerve said. Swerve went on a podcast. He went on Andre's podcast or something, and he mentioned a couple of cats' names about how it seems that every time when we get involved or when we come up, when we start to make our moves and everything, people always got problems. Like they had to move like they had to move the goalposts or something. And what Swerve pretty much put out there is what I've been saying. It seems that anytime when we get there, when it's our turn to shine, everybody always got a problem. It does not matter. I can say it's like, what am I trying to say? It's like cats just don't want to see us do well. It's not the fact that cats don't care about us winning championships. It's about cats just don't want us to. They don't. Cats do not want us to shine. Cats would rather us just be shucking and jiving all day. No. So it's Swerve like, I'm not finna sit up here and tolerate the hate. I'm not, because he said I see all, I hear all, and he named some names. He said Jim Cornette. We all know how Jim Cornette get down. Don't play the game. Everybody and their mama's mama know how Jim Cornette get down. And then he mentioned one of the biggest clowns in the AEW. I hate to call him a clown because, listen, look, let me tell you something about this cat. I'm not doing what I'm doing without him. Listen, the man, let me tell you something. People hate on this dude because they not shining like how he shines. He presents his channel on how he does things. That's how he does. That's how he's got himself off the ground. I don't knock the man's hustle because, first of all, this man took a chance on his own self. He could have still been sitting in. I think he used to work really. What do you call that? When you selling jewelry, and where he said he used to work at the mall and stuff like that. He don't do that no more. This man is eating good. He has his own wrestling podcast. He works at a wrestling show, and cats just hate on him just to hate on him. I don't agree with everything he does. I don't. And certain things he says, it's very questionable, especially when it's concerning critiquing us. And cats get carried away because of the fact that he got one of us sitting up there with him. The name of the game with him is when you critique us, it's certain words you can't say. It's certain words of how you got. It's like you have to come across in a respectful manner, not in a disrespectful manner, because certain way of how you say things, cats are gonna look at you sideways. I don't care how you put it. I don't care that you got Jesse sitting right there as your homie. It don't work like that. It does not work like that. It's a way to. I tell everybody all the time, there is a way to critique black wrestling. There's a way. Do it in a respectful manner. Don't be coming at us. No. And that's basically why Swerve mentioned him. Everybody, my mama know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about JD from NY. Everybody already know. He mentioned him. And I said, oh, and I'm pretty sure I knew JD was going to respond. Sure enough, he did. He was all up in the I saw what he said. It's a way to critique our talent without doing all that goofy stuff that you be doing. And that's why certain cats look at you sideways. I'm just calling it what it is. Certain cats look at you sideways because of how you critique us. There is a way to critique us without being on bull jive. I don't care what people are going to say. People are either going to think I'm hating. I'm not hating. I'm just telling you how it is. There is a way to critique us without being on bull jive. And that's why Swerve said what he said. I was like, oh, okay, I see what he's saying. I get what he means. Because it's like everybody always move. Because he mentioned everybody was cool when Kenny Omega and Hangman had the titles because neither one of them are tag team wrestlers. Both of those cats are singles. But I'm here to tell you right now, they had the best AEW tag team run out of everybody who had the titles. And he said, well, look at me and look at Lee. Both of us are singles, and yet we just got the championships. Now everybody already got a problem. That's why I said, man, this here's my message to Swerve. Don't worry about what these fools online got to say. Don't worry about them. You and Lee focus on giving us the best tag team run that you could possibly give. We know what's to come. I know what's going to happen. One of them is turning, whether that's Swerve or that's Lee. Somebody's turning when it comes to the end. But I want to see them have an outstanding run, however long they have the championships. And that's your job. Your job is to present yourself in a presentable way. This is where TK comes in the line. Make sure they ain't out there doing no foolishness. Have them be presented right. Have the feuds matter. Get us to care about who they beefing with. And look at the end of the day, this is how we judge based on what's being presented. It's about presentation. It ain't just about representation. Presentation is the key when it's concerning us, ladies. Matter of fact, I can say that about everybody, but especially the black talent. And tonight's episode, heavy black presentation live in Atlanta again. This is the third week they was in Georgia. They was in different parts of Georgia, but they was in Atlanta. It said Atlanta, Georgia. So obviously, you know, very hip hop presence. So you know we gonna be all over that. You already know that. So they talking. They said, all right. So since we won these titles, they said, all right, listen. So who in the back want to take it from us? Because if you ready to step up to us, feel free to come on out here. So here comes Smart Mark Sterling running his mouth. So here we are. We tying the whole deal about him trying to get everybody to sign the petition to get Swerve out of AEW. He comes out with Tony Nese. They running their mouth. And he said, Lee, you really not a champion because I just need one more signature and you're gone. Let me go get Kevin Gates. And he mentioned the fact that he is 2 phones and he got a new album and all this crazy stuff. Even even Swerve acknowledged that he had an album and all that stuff, and even Lee did the same thing. So he went over there, tried to get that man's petition, to get his signature. That man said, hold up. I said, no. I said, you know something foolish when that happened. Now, there was a cake sitting out there the whole time. I said, that cake is getting ready to get messed up. I don't know how the cake is going to get messed up, but you know, anytime food is presented on the show, that food always ends up getting messed up. Y'all already know how it works. So he tries to get the man to sign his petition. Then he hops, so he gets from under the barricade where the fans was. He gets in that man's face, and Tony Nese stands right there. And he's all up in Tony Nese's face. And he said, get out of here with that mess. And straight jaws the man. I don't know if he really hit him or not. I can't tell. But the fact that he did it, that's a gif that went viral. It's all, and see, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you get cats to talk about your show. Now, I understand Kevin Gates is a very controversial rapper. I don't really listen to his music like that, but I've heard some things about him. People talking about it. I had no idea, but apparently he has sexual relations with somebody in his family. Listen, I didn't know that. I seen people talking about it. The man be talking about all kind of crazy stuff. I mean, Listen, it is what it is. I'm not condoning that because that's nasty as heck. But the fact that you had somebody like that on your show and you know food's going to be talking, that's the name of the game. Get people to talk. Get people to talk about your programming. That is the name of the game. That's what they did. They got him out there. He punched Tony Nese. And then so with smart Mark Sterling paying attention to all that, he ain't looking at Swerve. Swerve got the cake and they threw it in the man's face. I said, well, that's the whole point of the cake. I said the cake was going to get messed up. I said, so now here's the deal. Tony Nese is going to have to team up with somebody else because it won't be smart Mark Sterling. I am not sure who he's going to get, but it's going to be Tony Nese and somebody versus those two for the titles. I'm not sure if that's going to take place at All Out, but I know that this is the feud that we have right now. So I'm cool with it. I said, this is where we're starting at. Start small and then build up. So I'm cool with it. I'm cool. Great segment. Excellent. We got the time that, you know, they both gave praise to the fans. They said if it weren't for you all, we wouldn't be champions. Kudos to both of them. Kudos to Swerve. Kudos to Lee. I liked it. Great segment. So, let's see. So backstage, we got let's see. I'm not paying attention to that because you already know. And you see what I'm saying. I'm not paying no attention to that. We had Johnny Hungee and Alex Reynolds and Butch and the Blade backstage with Alex Barvez talking about how cool and friendly they are with each other, and they got shirts. And so Johnny Hungee had a shirt for the Butcher. He said, here is Butch, and he gave him the shirt. And then Alex Reynolds said, I got a shirt for the Blade. And then when he turned the shirt around, it said Butch on it. So they just beat the snot out of him. I mean, they got manhandled. So obviously it's going to be a match. I don't know if it's going to be a rampage or it's definitely going to be a match. This is going to be a way for them to finally get, because they've been losing like crazy. The Butcher and the Blade, I feel like they've been up. It's like a hit and miss with them. It's like, what are we going to do with them? So I guess this is the way for them to feel like they are a relevant tag team, beat the Dark Order, because you know they're not doing nothing. They just on the show to be clowns. So with them getting beat up, Heyman comes out the woodwork with a chair. So obviously Heyman is still with them, and basically to run them off. So I'm not sure where we're going. I am not sure what Heyman's doing. I absolutely am not sure. I don't know. But obviously it's just to keep cats on TV right now. That's basically what it is. So let's see. Let's talk about it. Christian Cage, Luchasaurus versus the Varsity Blondes. Now obviously you knew what was going to happen. You knew the Varsity Blondes was finna get jumped. You already knew that. Like you knew, like that's basically what they was out there for. Luchasaurus basically just murdered the both of them. Beat the style out of both of them. Christian comes in just to do the pinfall. And they go and they celebrate. So, Varsity Blondes, they get beat up. So, as soon as Christian and Luchasaurus are finna celebrate, you hear Tarzan Boy. Tarzan Boy goes off and the crowd goes crazy. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of popped too. I said, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you make a star. Kudos to Christian Cage, ladies and gentlemen. Jungle Boy got a huge pop. The audience went nuts when Tarzan Boy hit. When Tarzan Boy hit, because I didn't expect him back that fast. When Tarzan Boy hit, man, I said, oh, it's good to see Jungle Boy. So, as he's walking down the ring, Christians look shocked. Luchasaurus looks shocked. He has a chair in his hand. And he walks and he keeps walking. Luchasaurus is looking at him. He looks at him. He looked like he finna hit Luchasaurus. Then Luchasaurus automatically realigns himself back with Jungle Boy. So Jungle Boy chases Christian out of the arena, which leaves Luchasaurus just standing there. So now a lot of people was mad. A lot of people was upset because they said, what was the whole point of him turning him heel? Ladies and gentlemen, I believe this story just got started. That's the name of the game. The story just got started. There's a lot of people that's upset. People is mad. They upset. They tripping. They like, oh man, I'm like, yo, the story just got started. We ain't know, I don't know why everybody tripping. I get it. I told you. Listen, personally, I would have been playing this game with Luchasaurus trying to figure out, am I heel or am I babyface? But he just make up. But now the fact that Jungle Boy is back, I believe that's what they're going to do. They're gonna play this thing all the way to All Out, because it's going to be Jungle Boy versus Christian at All Out. You might as well pencil that in. This is going to carry all the way to All Out, and that's when we will figure out where side does Luchasaurus stand. They gonna play this game. It's gonna be a wishy-washy game. Does Luchasaurus ride with Christian, or does he ride with his guy? It's a game, and that's what we're here for, ladies and gentlemen. People are already ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Come on, man. Come on. Like, it's a game being played, y'all. The story just gets started. Jungle Boy is back. Luchasaurus has to make up his mind. Who does he align with? I know Cat said, well, it's just starting, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know that. He could be playing games. This is a game, ladies and gentlemen. This is what Tony Khan like. He like long-term storytelling. This is long-term storytelling. Just let the game play out. Let the story play out. Now, if I see some foolishness in the next 3 weeks, then I'll be back and say, okay, I was wrong with Sulu. Tony Khan was a bull job. But I just think the story just gets started, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it, but kudos to Christian, because Jungle Boy ain't getting that pop without Christian. Jungle Boy is not getting that pop. Christian did what he had to do. He got that young man over. Now, Jungle Boy was already over, but I'm talking about he's over, ladies and gentlemen. He is over. The fact that I popped for Jungle Boy. You know me. You know how much I was hating on Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, because I was tired of them beating everybody I know. The fact that I'm cheering for Jungle Boy now, that's kudos to Christian. That's what I'm talking about. That's called great storytelling. That's how you do it. And Christian did an excellent job right there. The story just got started, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't seen nothing yet. So stay tuned. All right. Jim Ross music hit. I'm already over it. He's out. Let's roll. FTW title. Ricky Starks with Powerhouse Hobbs versus Cole Carter. Ladies and gentlemen, Powerhouse Hobbs is basically a walking 90s meme or whatever. He is 90s through and through. If you call his shorts had Martin on it. I said, this man is a 90s guy. Now I'm understanding Powerhouse's gimmick. His gimmick is he's a throwback to the 90s. Powerhouse Hobbs is a throwback to the 90s. That's what his gimmick is. He's a muscle guy, but his gimmick is he's throwback. He's a throwback to the 90s through and through. When he was running around there with them BBD Bell Biv DeVoe overalls, it seemed like always peep what that man is wearing. Always peep what Will Hobbs is wearing. That's all I'm going to say. Will Hobbs' gimmick is he's a 90s guy. He is a 90s guy through and through, ladies and gentlemen. I figured out what his gimmick is. A lot of people trying to figure out what his gimmick is. Powerhouse Hobbs' gimmick is a 90s throwback. And I love it. Because y'all know I'm 90s through and through. I am 90s all the way. Listen, 90s and 2000s, that's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. First time seeing this young man wrestle. I never seen Cole Carter wrestle because I didn't watch the NXT. I haven't been watching 2.0, so I never seen him wrestle before. Young man has promise. He has promise. Kudos to Ricky. Ricky made him look great. Successful title run. He actually even got. I don't know who. I don't know if he popped him. Some happened. Somebody got popped. I don't know if it was him or Rick. Somebody got popped. But they listen. Good match. Very good match. The story now. Remember what I said. The story is, what is Ricky Starks going to do? The fact that him and Hobbs came up short. Well, he still has his FTW championship, right? So now this whole match, they was booing the mess out of Carter, but Ricky was getting babyface pop. I mean, they was cheering him like he was a babyface, and that promo he cut, it kind of sounded like a babyface. I'm not gonna lie, he did. So after he won the match, he said, Atlanta, he said, we just get started. He said, I am defending this title, so let's see who wants to face me right now. And he said, shout out to the cat that has the Wu-Tang shirt on. Who wants to face me? Come out right now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know I can't stand this circus clown Danhausen. Danhausen came out and the entire crowd went nuts. The entire crowd went nuts. And listen, he came out. He said, since you said this is an open challenge. Does everybody want to see Danhausen beat Ricky Starks right now? And listen, the crowd loves him. They love this cat. I told you I ain't on the bandwagon yet. Ain't got nothing to do with the man. He just not for me. But when he came out and I said, is Tony Khan legit going to have this man beat Ricky Starks? Because that's what I'm asking myself. Like, are we legit going to do this? Now, a lot of people are speculating that this is what's going to lead to Hook and Ricky Starks. Now, remember, Hook is a part. Think about it. Hook is a part of Team Taz. Am I not correct? So, I don't know. I have no idea, but that's what a lot of people saying, that this is going to lead to Hook versus Ricky Starks. That's what it sounds like. We'll see. We'll see, ladies and gentlemen. So next week has already been established. Dang, we already got a pay-per-view worthy television show. So we just finished Fyter Fest. Now we got Fight for the Fallen. Next week, Ricky Starks versus Danhausen for the FTW Championship. So, crowd liked it. Everybody thought it was great. So, we get a backstage segment. So, early today, found out that Leslie Gray, could not compete today because she wasn't cleared. I'm not sure exactly what it is. She wasn't able to compete. So, therefore, the trios match has now become a tag team match. Well, that means Willow Nightingale and Athena versus Jade and Kiera Hogan. So they cut the promo. Chris, I'm not gonna lie. If you peeped, Chris kind of looked like she had attitude. She looked like she was ticked off, ladies and gentlemen. I told y'all, man. I feel like see, a lot of people think it's gonna be a singles match. A lot of people think it's gonna be Jade versus Athena first. Then we get Chris versus Jade. I don't think so, ladies and gentlemen. I believe it's going to be a triple threat. I just feel that in my core. I could be wrong as two left shoes. Based off of the promo, Chris looked like she was upset with Athena. Now, it's not. Listen, it ain't Athena's fault. It's whatever the situation that happened with Leslie. You know, like I said, but I get it because now, remember, now, first of all, why the heck did Athena say this? Athena said, that TBS title would look good around your waist, Chris. I'm like, Athena, ain't you gunning for the same championship? I get you're trying to butter her up because she's ticked off, but girl, you should be talking about, well, look, yeah, it would look great on you, but it also looked great on me. Peep the whole deal about the so-called friendship coming to a close, because at the end of the day, y'all might be road girls behind the scenes, but I'm trying to win that championship. This ain't a tag team title. This is the TBS championship. That's what I'm trying to get. That's what I'm gunning for. I don't know. I don't get it. Willow Nightingale, her bubbly personality. Tony Khan, let's get that graphic. We ready for the graphic. Her bubbly personality just spews off the TV show, ladies and gentlemen. I call her Lizzo. If Lizzo was a wrestler, now listen, I know. Listen, this is not I'm not disrespecting her because she's big. This is not disrespect. I'm just saying, look at her in the face. If you put a picture of Lizzo and you put a picture of Willow Nightingale, they could be twin sisters, ladies and gentlemen, and not because of they big. I'm talking about based on in the face alone, ladies and gentlemen. But her bubbly personality is just what gravitates cats towards her. And I'm like, you want to see this young lady succeed. Now, I already knew her being in this matchup, that they wouldn't win it. You already knew that. So, right after them, we get FTR, Tony Schiavone. Listen, the fact that the Briscoes couldn't be on TV, Time Warner don't need to be good. They on some bull jive, ladies and gentlemen. They are on some bull jive. That's all I'm gonna say. They are on bull jive. The Briscoes apologized for the foolish stuff they said. They apologized. They moved on. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. The Briscoes are excellent. They are great at what they did. So, FTR pretty much came out there. Dax and Cash pretty much got this match over. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match that's taking place at Death Before Dishonor, Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. Cash cut an outstanding promo. And let me tell y'all something. I say this every time I talk about FTR. FTR is by far, like, for me, they my favorite tag team running right now. They are the best tag team in wrestling right now. I don't care what nobody has to say. FTR is great. I did not think I would be a fan of their babyface run. I thought they would be heels forever. I personally think now that I have the opportunity, I think FTR are better at babyface. I thought they would always just be heel. FTR, they are great at this babyface thing. They are. So Cash said what he had to say about the Briscoes, and then Dax cut a very powerful promo. He talked about how there was this young lady, this little girl. She had a hole in her heart, and she fought her behind off, and it looked like she wasn't gonna be able to make it. We took her back. They took her back to the hospital and found out that hole was healed up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen. I know I got a lot. Listen, I have an audience, and there's people that believe all kind of stuff. There's no explanation to how that happened, but the power of the Most High. I know there's a lot of people that don't believe like how I do. I'm not here to try to convince people that Jesus is real. I'm not. But you can't tell me, based off how he cut that promo, and he talked about it, because I'm going to get there. He said that there was a hole in her heart, and it was talking about doing open heart surgery. But then they went back, and the doctor checked, and the hole was filled up. Come on now. Come on. And he said that 8-year-old, well, she was 5 then, but that 8-year-old with the hole in her heart, that's my daughter. And he said, come this Saturday, I'm going to fight like an 8-year-old. I'm going to do everything in my power to hold on to this title for her. Just like how she fought for herself, I'm going to do the same thing. Listen, man, I take my hat off to Cash and Dax. Are great. When you want to build up a baby face, look no further than Dax and Cash. They are great at this babyface thing. They are making it work. When I don't know, people make it like it's hard to get over as a babyface. FTR is showing you this is how you do it. They're showing you this is how you do it. I'm telling you, you go back. Listen, when they wrestled DIY, which is do it yourself, that's Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Man, I wanted them to lose like nobody's business. When they went against America Alpha, I wanted them to lose like crazy. Now I root so hard for FTR. I want to see them win all the time. I know they can't, but this is what I'm talking about. They are great, ladies and gentlemen. I can't praise them enough. I can't. FTR is excellent. I did not think that I would be the one. I didn't think I would be an FTR fan like this. I always thought I would be rooting against them. FTR is great, ladies and gentlemen. Promo is excellent. They get the face. I just wish the Briscoes was able to come on here, but Turner is on some bull jive. They don't want the Briscoes. It's stupid. It is so stupid, man. It's stupid, man. I hate it. I agree with him. I didn't agree with the foolishness he said earlier. Josh 2 cents. He said what he said. Excellent promo. I hate the fact that it seems that Turner ain't going to lie. It's so stupid, ladies and gentlemen. It's stupid. It's dumb. They apologized. They said what they had to say. Backstage segment. Sanjay Dutt, Satin on Scene, Jay Lethal talking about what they're going to do to Samoa Joe come this Saturday. They're going to murder Samoa Joe. Jay Lethal is going to become the new Ring of Honor TV champion. Christopher Daniels pops out of the woodwork and said, hold on, before you quote-unquote get beat up by Joe, let me beat the brakes off you, come Rampage. So this is basically Jay Lethal to get a win. Every time I see Jay Lethal, I haven't seen him win. Last time I seen Jay Lethal win, he beat Lee Moriarty. That was the last time I seen Jay Lethal win. He's going to get an opportunity to beat up on Christopher Daniels on Friday. So that's good. It's basically get his feet wet because you know what's happening come Saturday. Samoa Joe ain't even been nowhere near the toe. I guess Samoa Joe really did get hurt again. Man, Man, Samoa Joe, so he is, man, I hate the fact that he is so injury prone. I hate that, man. Samoa Joe, one of the best in the game. I hate this, man. I didn't realize he really did get hurt again. So I don't know, man. He's winning, but listen, if Jay Lethal beat him, then that really means that he must be hurt again. But it is what it is. So we get the baddie section. Jade Cargill, Kiera Hogan, Stokely halfway, and then here come Jermaine Dupri. I'm like, boy, if this ain't the blackest episode of AEW I've ever seen, I don't know what it is. And Jermaine Dupri and Stokely, both of them being bald headed, man, it make you feel like you was looking at two brothers. And when I mean two brothers, I mean like legit brothers. I'm not talking about because they black. I'm talking about like family brother. But this was the blackest episode of AEW I've ever seen in my life. I'm serious. Look, Rampage is Rampage, but I'm talking about on Dynamite. Listen, look, when I say we was on this show heavy, ladies and gentlemen. We was on this show. People, look, we was on it. We was on this show. Man. So, Athena, Willow Nightingale, Kiera and Jade did what they had to do, ladies and gentlemen. And the fact that they kept Athena and Jade away from each other until the very end. Jade asked for the competition. She said, I want competition. She said, I'm tired of beating up women left and right. I'm tired of beating up these easy women. These easy women are basically there just to be there. The fact that they allowed them to get us excited for what's to come. Both of them was able to do what they did. Jade got some new moves. Jade just adding movesets to our arsenal left and right. Kudos to Jade. There was a spot outside the match. Outside the ring, she basically threw Athena into the steel steps. I said, man, listen. I don't know what we getting ready to get, but the fact that the crowd popped when the two of them was in the ring. They popped like crazy. Willow Nightingale or something else. Listen, when her and Kiera was going at it, Willow was out there. Look, don't let Willow's size fool you. Willow might be big, but that girl can wrestle her tail out, man. People, look, I've been, listen, every time I see Willow Nightingale, I am very impressed. Every time I see her get in the ring. And she's turning me more and more to a fan, and it looks like she's going to be on the Death Before Dishonor card, which is great, because now she can get her feet wet. If you get my drift. Like I said, it was a good tag team match. The ladies did what they did. Kiera even looked good, man. Like I said, man, listen, there's always room for improvement. It was a few botches that happened in the match, but there's always room for improvement. And when you watch us, listen, the name of the game, give us the opportunity. Give us the opportunity to go out there, let us showcase what we can do. And if it comes off not good, we'll say it's not good. These ladies, they gave it all. I'm pleased. Jade does her finisher on Willow Nightingale. Listen, man, I don't know. I have no idea. Well, actually, I do. I personally believe it's gonna be a triple threat. But Tony Khan can do what the hell he want to do. I've seen people say Jade is going to beat Athena first, then she loses to Chris. I would do a triple threat. Kill two birds with one stone. And that way, Athena gets pinned by Chris. This way, Jade don't get pinned. This way, Jade can say, I get a rematch because you did not pin me. This way, we can set up the rematch. Heck, okay, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. Yeah, it's going to be bogus. But Jade's the one. Let's see, Jade didn't been on pay-per-view. How many pay-per-views she'd have been on? Jade has been on, she's been on 4, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. And I believe one was on the pre-show, but all the other ones been on the main show. And she's won every match she's been on. If we set up the triple threat at All Out, Chris goes over at All Out. She pins Athena. Then we set up the one-on-one at Grand Slam. This is where Jade gets her official, get pinned loss. I'm not talking because she's losing the championship at All Out. But the rematch would take place at Grand Slam. That's what I would do. That's if I'm booking it. I don't know how y'all feel about it. We run it back at Grand Slam. Jade loses. She gets her first pin. She gets pinned for the first time at Grand Slam. She loses the title all out because Athena gets pinned. So then she can cry and complain and say, "You ain't pinned me. You pinned up that other girl that was in the match. I'm gonna get my championship back at Grand Slam." Like, she talk all this bull, like she run her mouth talking all that stuff. Chris Statline ain't really got to say nothing. Chris say, "I took your championship. Yeah, I might not pin you, but you best believe. Listen, when you get in the ring with me at Grand Slam, I'm going to pin you, whether you like it or not. And your baddies ain't gonna be able to do nothing. They show lane. Who knows? Maybe that might be the time where the baddies turn on Jay. Maybe Grand Slam might be where Jay becomes a babyface because she loses everything. Stokely, the baddies, they turn. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out there. I don't know, because at the end of the day, everybody want. I want to root for Jade as a babyface. Like, I like Jade as a heel because she's doing her thing right now. But I want to root for Jade as a babyface, ladies and gentlemen, because I just love that sister, man. She's on her way, and this way, like I said, she loses and she gets taken off TV. This is where she could continue to get better in the ring. Because number one thing for me, if I'm Jade Cargill, number one thing I'm working on is in-ring work. I got movesets, because the moves ain't the problem. Jade is executing these finishes like it's nothing. Every move that she does is great. The number one thing about Jade, everybody knows, the number one thing about Jade's improvement is the in-ring work. The in-ring work is where Jade must improve, because I know she claims she wants competition, but she got it tonight. She got that competition. She got that competition. Athena was out there doing work, and Willow Nightingale was doing work as well too. So, but listen, Chris Statlander is taking that championship, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just telling y'all right now, it's going to happen. Whether it happens at All Out or Grand Slam, it's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just telling y'all right now. So, let's see. We get a promo. Tony Schiavone is talking with Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm. And the matchup has been set up. Thunder Rosa will get an opportunity to defend her championship against the young lady who beat her when she went over to Japan. Her name is Mui Yamashita. I believe that's her name right. So as she's talking, she said the young lady is great. She's awesome. But I'm going to get my win back this Wednesday. Well, she gets cut off. And Britt, listen, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Britt, as of right now, I feel like her promo work kind of fell off. And because it seems like every time you hear Britt saying the same thing. She mocking her. And you can tell. Did you see Thunder Rosa rolling her eyes? She said this girl again. She's saying the same thing over and over again. So I guess they're going to be having a tag team match on Rampage. I guess it's going to be Thunder Rosa and Tony versus those two. I guess. I don't know. But Thunder Rosa basically told you everything based off of the promo. She was rolling her eyes. She's like, this girl again. And I'm like, listen, I don't know. I don't know what's the fact that just, I don't know. Like, because I think Britt is a decent promo. I don't know. I don't know if it's the fact that her dude is out. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Because Britt was on top of her game, several months ago. Now I feel like she just plummeted down. I think I'm ready for the feud. Britt Baker versus Jamie. I'm ready for that feud. It's a long time coming. She don't need to be around her no more. She can do her own thing now. So that's that. Main event time, ladies and gentlemen. JS clowns come up. They come out. They get in the cage. They call up in the thing. They call up all that stuff. You see, Ruby sitting ringside, so you know something's going to pop off. You already know. Everybody was in the cage except Sammy. Now, Sammy is part of JS, correct? Why wasn't Sammy out there? Well, you know something about to pop off. Jericho comes out wearing a mask, got the clown makeup on, Painmaker, right? Now, the entire ring, and the bill, the mic, everything, when they said barbed wire everywhere match, they wasn't playing. Even the microphone that Justin Roberts had barbed wire on. Well, right from the jump, they showcased why the barbed wire was on the mic. Jericho comes out, Kingston come out there, and as soon as he get in there, he get the microphone and start beating the brakes off of Jericho in the head with it. Now, I didn't even peep this, but Cat said on TV the camera crew caught Jericho bleeding. Man, they got to be better at making sure you don't see him when they bleed or blading or whatever. So, this match was all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. They just tearing each other up. They beating each other down. Doing this, doing that. Boo, 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 all that. So, I mean, crazy. It's just crazy. They jumping on barbed wires. Barbed wires all up in the junk and all this mess. I mean, they just insane. Insane to the membrane, y'all. So, you got Ruby Soho sitting out there, right? So, I'm like, they show Ruby. Who come running out there? Tay, Mrs. Sammy Guevara, because they're engaged. Mrs. Sammy Guevara, Tay Conti, comes running out there, and she started beating the snot out of Ruby. Now, I know a lot of people said she was throwing fake punches. Yes, Tay got to get better at throwing punches, ladies and gentlemen. She has to. She has to get better. She's beating the brakes off her, right? Then here come Anna Jay. Anna Jay comes out. Anna Jay comes running out there. And so she pulls her off. And then they start going. They start getting into it. Then she aligns herself. So now Anna Jay, if I want to say, I guess she's no longer in the dark. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. She has aligned herself with a road girl. The road girls are back together, and the two of them started murdering Ruby. So, therefore, with that situated, now, Ruby was guarding the remote that had them suspended. Well, they got a hold of the remote. They let the JAS clowns down. They got out the cage, and you already know all the cheating had to go down. So they hopped in the ring and started beating the brakes off of Eddie Kingston. Well, here comes everybody in the BCC to run them off, right? So they run them off. So I'm sitting up here like, all right, it's no DQ match. They can't do nothing about it. I'm sitting up here saying to myself, Eddie Kingston has to win, right? He has to. I forgot. Where the heck is Sammy? Sammy comes running out there. Sweet Chin's music that man. Takes that man out. Start beating the brakes. Eddie thinks he got it. Jericho beats the brakes off of Eddie again. And he wins. And I'm asking myself, why is we still continuing this feud? This should have been the very end of it should have been over. This should have been done away with, ladies and gentlemen. This should have been it. It should have been over. This is the end. Look here. Tony Khan is good with the long-term booker, but sometimes Tony Khan keeps matches going. He keeps storylines going way longer than they should. And I was here to come here and tell you that this whole episode was going to be great from the start to the finish until the very finish. Eddie Kingston should have won. We should have been done. Everybody should have been moving on to something else. We're still continuing this thing because obviously Eddie got to get his win back. Now, I was like, man, I was ready to come on here and give Tony Khan nothing but praise throughout the whole show. And then Tony Khan comes and gives us this, and I'm like, oh my goodness, Tony, why? This should have been over. This should have been the end. Everybody, let's move on to something else. Let's get cats ready to do something else going in the All Out. But I feel like Tony Khan gonna keep this going all the way to All Out. It should have been over. It should have been done. Eddie should have won. So after the match, Eddie found a way to beat the brakes off of both of them. He threw Jericho into the barbed wire. Jericho was caught up in the barbed wire, and that's how the show went off. I said, then what was the point of him losing? What was the point of him losing if he was going to do that? I don't get it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't understand it. I'm like Tony, man, you did great. I got to give Tony Khan props. He had us on the show, presenting us right, and then he goes and does this with Kingston. I'm like, bro, why? It should have been the end right now. Cut this mess over. Get this mess done. Get it over with. He wins. We're done. Jericho moves on to something else. Eddie Kingston can move on to something else. Now it's going to continue. I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to do, ladies. I don't know. It should have been done. Before I end this, I had to talk about it. Sorry about that, y'all. The Gun Club. The Gun Club explained they reasons of why they turned on the Acclaim. And they said, well, let's keep it a buck, ladies and gentlemen. The Acclaim are nothing but us. We've been carrying they sorry behinds. And I said, as soon as he said that, I said, no, I didn't give a rat's behind about you circus clowns until you hooked up with them. I wasn't on them. I said, get these clowns away from the Acclaim. That's what I was saying to myself. What the heck is these gun clowns doing with the Acclaim? The Acclaim was carrying y'all behinds. Y'all actually look like legit stars hanging out with Anthony Bowens and Platinum Max. These fools said, since they claim they want a match, we ain't giving them no match. But I can tell you this, we'll give them the match, but we're going to have a all rap battle, and whoever wins can pick when we have the match, what type of stipulation and all. I'll say, ain't nobody trying to hear these circus clowns rap. Max Caster finna destroy this man, and Max Caster, he be rapping cheesy rhymes all the time. His cheesy rhyme tale is gonna murder both Austin and Colton. He gonna murder them. It's no question. There's no question. He's going to murder the both of them, man. So I'm guessing that this is gonna carry over to. I guess they're gonna have a tag team match at All Out. I guess, I don't know, but if this is the case, if they are, then the Acclaim get the victory on pay-per-view. If this gets the Acclaim on pay-per-view, I'm all in for it. And beating the Gun Boys at the pay-per-view, I'm here for it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the biggest Acclaim head on the planet. I am. So, like I said, let me tell y'all something. Tonight's show, very good show. The ending, I wasn't feeling the ending because we should have been done with this. Eddie Kingston should have won, and we move on to something else. Presentation, ladies and gentlemen. When it's concerning us, presentation is always going to be the key. We were not only were we represented, but the presentation of us on this show had me say that this was the blackest AEW episode I've ever seen in my life. And I've been watching this stuff since the jump. Presentation, ladies and gentlemen. Presentation, ladies and gentlemen, is the key. You want to do us right. You want us to tune into your program, present us as if you give a crap. Don't be doing that bull. Speaking of bull jive, I don't watch Raw and SmackDown. I seen the clip from Monday night. Vince McMahon had Titus O'Neil buck dancing behind. Go out there and say what he said about WWE being a safe haven for wrestlers, and everybody's here to have a good time. I'm like, look here, man. If that man didn't go out there to get some butter biscuits, I don't know what. This is the same food that you basically budged and somehow got suspended for it. Now here you are buck dancing for this man. I told y'all, ladies and gentlemen, anytime I see us on WWE TV, I don't know. It's like, man, we go out there, we get the shucking and jiving, we be saying all this foolish stuff. I'm like, dang well, there must be some stuff that's finna hit the fan about Vince coming. More stuff finna hit the fan. The fact that you had Titus O'Neil go out there and sound like a complete buck dancer. I said, man, this is crazy. I saw that clip. I said, man, this is insane. I said, boy, I'm so glad I don't watch the stuff like that. I don't. I'm glad I don't. And it looking like Summer Joke finna be Rematch City. That's what it's looking like. Yeah, I'll review it. I'll be reviewing Summer Joke, so you best believe I'm getting I'm doing a video. So I know I just took a dump on Vince McMahon, but you best believe I'm reviewing Summer Joke. I will. You'll get a full video. I'll be watching it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch the whole show, but I know I'm watching the show. You're definitely getting a review. I'm telling you right now. But is there anything else? Sasha Banks situation. So apparently Sasha Banks was asking for $30,000 to appear at wrestling autograph signings or something. So fools is coming at it and all that. I think that's below her pay grade, ladies and gentlemen. Sasha Banks is over. Sasha Banks don't even need WWE, ladies and gentlemen. The fact that fools was coming at her just because of that. And what they were doing, they were once again trying to disrespect Naomi. It's Sasha and Naomi, ladies and gentlemen. I told y'all, man. WWE don't even they don't care nothing. They don't care nothing about the women. They don't care nothing about. Speaking of don't care nothing about the women, they had Cora Jade basically throw the NXT Tag Team Women titles in the trash can. I know they was trying to pull man, what is that girl name? I can't think of her name. She was in WWE back in the 90s. Then she left and went to WCW and she threw the title in the trash. I get they was trying to do a homage to that, but still, that's just showcased that those titles don't mean nothing. The women's division over there don't mean nothing. Tag team wrestling is a complete joke over there. I seen the clip. I saw it. I said she threw the title in the trash can. That's Vince and them telling you exactly how they feel about the women's division, how they feel about the tag teams. It's a waste of time. Meanwhile, this episode of AEW Dynamite was tag team heavy. The fact you had the AEW World Heavyweight Champion in the tag team match, that should tell you AEW is a safe haven for tag team wrestling. Tony Khan and them love tag team wrestling. I'm not really a big dude on tag team wrestling, but I like tag team wrestling. If you get what I'm driving, it's not. I'm more of a singles guy because when you do singles matches, now I can tell if you're really a good wrestler or not. Tag team wrestling is basically to cover up the who's the weaker wrestler in between the partners. That's what it's there for. Singles wrestling, you can see who's good, who ain't really that good. Like who got it and who ain't got it. If you get where I'm going. This episode was heavy on the tag team wrestling. Everybody was in the tag team match there. Dang weird. Look, FTR, they promoting their match going into Death Before Design. And they mentioned a whole lot of other matches that's going to be on the pre-show. Willow Nightingale, she's going against Allison Kay, if I'm not mistaken. You know she's winning. You already know that's going to happen. Like I said, Dynamite was good, ladies and gentlemen. I told you what I didn't like about the show. Hey, listen, no hate for me today. It was our show. I think Tony Khan must have had one of us in the back writing the show up. He must have, because we was on the show. Heavy, ladies and gentlemen. We was on this show like nobody's business. So I will be back this Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I'll be out handling my business. As soon as I get home, I'm going to watch Dynamite. And I'm gonna watch Rampage, and then I'm gonna come on here. I'm gonna give you my review, and I'm gonna do a predictions video for Death Before Designer. I'll talk to y'all cats later. Y'all know exactly what to do. Hit the comment section up. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Hit the like button. Get this video all over the place. I'll talk to y'all cats later. Holla at your boy.